So this is my Issey Miyake cocoon backpack. Currently asking $1 million for. It's exclusively for sale through my eBay account, and it's 100% authentic archive fashion. Um, there's some discoloration, and some of the leather has come off of the zipper parts, but for the most part, this thing is pretty awesome. There are some 3M accents. It has a compartment below it where you can bring out this camouflage thing that'll cover the entire backpack. It looks like a ladybug or something like that. But yeah, this sucker is crazy. I actually used it very religiously for like 10 years. Um, like every weekend I would go and I would watch this office in Old Town Torrance. Around the corner, there's this shop called Threads and Needles. There'd always be like a Japanese woman that would work there on the weekend. I'd always like form a crush on them. So first there was like this really, really Japanese woman, and man, I would go in there every weekend. Then there was this like African mix with Japanese girl. I mean, she was hot. She looked just like Vashti, and you could tell she spoke like broken English. Like she just sounded just like a Japanese woman. I think there's a younger girl now, and I don't really go anymore because I don't watch The Office. But um, that's still it's still there. It's called Threads and Needles. And then one day I was walking to the office on a weekend, and I was walking next to this, like it used to be called the California, like it was like this like museum. It was like the Museum of California, whatever, of Torrance. But I saw the display and I was like, dude, that looks like a Vism store. And then later, I somebody came by my office. They're like, oh my god, they want like all this money for these shoes. I was like, holy shit, it's a Vism store. But I had just walked by and thought, oh my god, this thing is. I was like, dude, that looks like a Vism store. Sure enough, it was a Vism store. Well, it's not a Vism store. What it is, it's like a trunk show. But yeah, this is my backpack. I used it for like 10 years. I think I purchased this on Grailed for like $850. Probably way back in like 2015, 2016. Um, but yeah, the price has gone way up. I get messages every day from different people, sellers. People say they're archivists. What's my real price? This and that. I'll just take $1 million because at this point it doesn't even matter. That I know of, I've only seen two. I've seen this one and another one that I think is black but is actually advertised as blue. This one actually has discoloration and the leather tips on the like the zipper things, which everything is made in Japan. So this thing has like buckles and fasteners, and they're all made in Japan. Structurally, the thing is like immaculate. It's just those like leather things, and it's discolored over the years. It got discolored because I would leave it in the window of this place I was um, watching, where the desk sat up against the window, and that's why there's that like awkward. If you could see here towards the bottom, there's like a discoloration. But man, this thing is every part a badass and fully functional still. It's got a zipper port on the inside, and then it's got two more compartments. The lower compartment holds the shell that can cover the backpack. And when you do that, you can actually put water on it and it'll actually beat up. But I wouldn't submerge this thing in water. I tried it just to see if it would work, and it did. So, but yeah, I get messages from people, and that's how I found out the price that I paid, because somebody was like, "Oh, only two of these have sold. It's like one for $850, which is this one, And then the other one they said sold for like $2,000. I think recently, I think originally that one sold on Grilled for like $700-800. I want to say the same seller that had this also had that other one, and then that backpack sold for 2,000. But Issey Miyake ain't even making shit like this anymore. They're making whack pleats please, and it's just so embarrassing what they sell now. And to respect to Issey Miyake, all the patterns that he had made out in the 80s and 90s can still be purchased, and people can make those patterns. And also him as an artist, so he came out of this is form, shape, and then formlessness. That's sort of like how a lot of Asian designers go, but for it to be carried on and just to be, there's no retrospect. It seems like they're trying to look at. I know there's designers like Karl Lagerfeld, who's a genius as well, who said it's not always good to reflect back or to look back at time. But if you want to look at some of the better work that both Karl Lagerfeld and a person like Issey Miyake had, it would be in like the 80s and 90s, right? That's where you find it. So, I mean, there's some cool stuff that Karl Lagerfeld did. It was innovative, in the 2000s. And, it's even in the late teens. But, yeah. I don't know if we could say the same thing about Issey Miyake. So, I mean, I guess the pleats please and all that stuff, the geometrical whatever has its place, but the better stuff is that people will like really go after is the Chisato Samori stuff and the stuff like this. So, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that other backpack was, I've seen photos of it. I was going to purchase it, but I was like, I don't know. I just didn't like the white case that it got encased it, but this thing is definitely, it's all the way there and it's all the way live. It's all the way, yeah. I'll say that other backpack's cool, the color or whatever, but this thing is the one that you want. I mean, it really, you could see all the detail. You can see all the detail. It's probably the same on that other one, but this one is very, yeah, I don't know. It's just another thing. Plus, I mean, when somebody prices something at this price and they're willing to stand by it, they're not willing to, just do what everybody else does with all their shit. It also brings it to a new level. And that's what people like about On Grilled, the seller, 4G seller. So this is one of the few sellers that I have respect for, because he takes things that nobody could sell for thousands of dollars and he does it. And I respect that a lot. Whereas there are a lot of people, the majority of people will just take almost bare minimum. And we're talking about some of your most successful sellers. And what they'll do is, in the background, those people, when they're selling their stuff, for like $20-40 a piece. And mind you, I got $20-40 t-shirts. But a lot of those people badmouth people that are getting, a lot more for what they're selling. They might be selling to resellers, but at the end of the day, you could have asked that price, but you just didn't, because it doesn't really mean anything to you. And when you do something like this, when you actually, assign value, you're not going by somebody's whatever, the first and last sale, or you don't want to prescribe to a history of sales, because you can't find another one of these, and you can't buy another one of these if you wanted to. You won't own it unless they sell it to you. Type deal. So, yeah.